Today, we're diving into a revolution that's happening right now, not in some far-off lab, but right there on your phone, on your laptop. It's all about the massive digital shift in healthcare. And believe me, it's completely changing how we connect with our doctors. All right, let me ask you something. Think about the last time you had a health question. A weird symptom, or maybe you just needed to find a new specialist. Where'd you go first? If you're like most of us, your journey started in a search bar. And you're definitely not alone. A staggering 72% of patients now look up health info online before they even think about talking to a doctor. I mean, think about that. That's almost 3 out of every 4 people. But that little search, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That search often leaves us to social media, where a huge 80% of patients are checking out providers. And they're not just scrolling past. No, they're looking for reviews, they're looking for a community, they're looking for some kind of validation. And all that digital comfort, it leads straight to action. An overwhelming 83% of patients are now scheduling their appointments online. The message from all of us is loud and clear. We expect healthcare to be just as convenient as everything else in our digital lives. So, what are all these numbers really telling us? Well, they're pointing to this huge, growing gap, a disconnect between the way we, as modern patients, live our lives and the often old-school ways healthcare providers have tried to reach us. I mean, think about it. We live online now. We find answers there, we book services, we build trust there. So when healthcare communication is stuck in the past, it doesn't just feel a little outdated, it creates a real barrier to getting the care we actually need. And this really gets to the heart of the problem. The old playbook just isn't working anymore. Those traditional tools that healthcare has relied on for decades, well, they're losing their punch in a world that's moved on from billboards to pixels. Just think about the difference for a second. Traditional marketing is kind of like casting a giant, generic net with a billboard or a magazine ad, just hoping the right person happens to see it. Digital marketing? Oh, that is a completely different game. It's more like a laser-guided lure. It's targeted, it's personal, and it lets providers connect with the exact patients who need their help the most. So the big question is, how do providers close this gap? Well, they need to build what you could call a digital fortress. A really strong, accessible, and trustworthy online presence that meets patients right where they already are. And look, the goal here isn't just about advertising. It really comes down to empowerment. It's about giving providers the tools they need to build real, genuine connections with patients in the digital spaces we all use and trust every single day. Now, this digital fortress, it's not built from just one thing. Its foundation really stands on 3 core pillars, and they all work together to create this powerful and reliable online presence. So let's break them down. First up, you've got SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. To put it simply, it's all about being visible. When a patient is worried and searching for a local doctor or specific condition, SEO is the thing that makes sure the right provider shows up right at the top of the list, right in that critical moment of need. Okay, so if SEO is about being found, the second pillar is all about actively reaching out. We're talking about paid campaigns. Using platforms like Google or Facebook, providers can connect with very specific groups of people, say new parents in a certain neighborhood, with a message that's crafted just for them. It's incredibly precise. And the third pillar, this one adds that all-important human touch, social media. This is where the magic really happens. It's where providers can share patient stories, build supportive communities, and just answer questions openly. It's really the final piece of the puzzle, and it's all about building trust and creating real engagement. So we've seen the how, but let's talk about the why. What does all this digital stuff actually mean for patients and for doctors? Well, the benefits are very real, and they create a much better, more connected experience for everyone involved. For patients, for you and me, the advantages are huge, and they're immediate. It means having reliable health info right at your fingertips. It means the convenience of booking an appointment online instead of, waiting on hold forever. And it just makes our care feel more personal and accessible than it ever has before. And on the flip side, it's a massive win for providers too. They get to connect with more patients who need their specific expertise, they can build a trusted reputation in their community, and they can use data to better understand and serve the people they're trying to help. And what's really telling is when you look at the main goals here. Of course, getting new patients is important, but look how much focus is on engagement and education. This shows the strategy isn't just about growth. It's about building an informed, healthy community and earning that long-term trust. So let's zoom out for a second. This is way bigger than just a few new marketing tools. It's a fundamental change in our relationship with healthcare. So, where is all of this heading? What does the future of this connection even look like? At the end of the day, it's about so much more than ads. All these digital tools are really doing one powerful thing. They are closing that gap we talked about. And in the process, they're making healthcare more transparent, more accessible, and truly personalized to our own individual needs. And that leaves us with one final and maybe the most important question to think about. As all this technology makes healthcare more efficient and easier to access, the great challenge ahead will be to make sure we don't lose that essential human element of care. In a world of pixels and data, how do we keep healthcare human?